Mr. President, I rise today to join my colleagues, Senator Murray and Senator Jones, to call upon the Senate to pass the Fostering Undergraduate Talent by Unlocking Resources for Education, or the FUTURE Act, today, because that future is today. Should the Senate fail to act on this legislation, hundreds of minority-serving institutions and historically black colleges and universities across America are going to face some drastic funding cuts that could jeopardize the education of millions of students of color nationwide. Collectively, these institutions serve nearly 6 million undergraduate students throughout the United States, two-thirds of whom come from communities of color. Mr. President, without these federal dollars for MSIs, we're facing the potential for job losses, the possible closure of important academic programs, and most importantly, the doors of educational opportunity slamming shut for young men and women of color across this country. Minority-serving institutions have long enjoyed bipartisan support in this body. So it's perplexing and concerning to think that the Senate would depart for recess without passing this critical legislation. In the coming years, these institutions of higher learning will play an increasingly vital role in our increasingly diverse nation. Consider that already Hispanic children make up 1 of every 4 children in America's public schools and counting. Of these students, approximately 1 out of 5 will go to college. And when they do, 2/3 of them will wind up studying at a Hispanic-serving institution. Can we as a nation really afford to shortchange their education? I believe that representing a community that is already such a large part of the American population, and one out of 4 is going to be 1 out of 3 in just a couple of years, can we afford to shortchange their education and as such the success of this country, which demands that we do not? Just last Thursday, this body joined me to unanimously pass my bipartisan resolution honoring Hispanic-Serving Institutions Week. But it's hard to take seriously our words of support for minority-serving institutions if we fail to back up those words with real action. Unfortunately, that's where we stand today, on the cusp of skipping town without voting to properly fund these institutions. Across America, 523 Hispanic-serving institutions in 25 states, the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico serve more than 2 million hardworking Latino and Latina students who dream of a college education. I know this dream well. Indeed, my own story began at a Hispanic-serving institution, even if that designation did not yet exist at the time. I was the first in my family to attend college, and I did so at St. Peter's College in Jersey City, in New Jersey. It's because the professors and educators at St. Peter's recognize that not all children arrive at college with the same advantages or opportunities for upward mobility that I am here today, one of 4 Hispanic American senators. And it's a story that's repeated not only in Hispanic-serving institutions, but at HBCUs and other MSIs across the country that help students from underserved communities overcome the odds and reach their true potential. This isn't a Democratic or a Republican issue. The House passed this bill by voice vote. It was such an easy vote that they didn't even require a roll call. Now, I understand that there are many other issues facing our higher education system, and I appreciate that. I'm committed to working with my colleagues, particularly Senator Alexander and Murray, the chairman and ranking member of the Help Committee, to help create a system in this country that serves all of our students and prepares America's workforce to compete all around the world. But the fact is, these minority-serving institutions face a funding cliff if we fail to act. Let's not make our students of color pay the price while we continue to debate the broader issues facing our higher education system. Let's pass that FUTURE Act today. And with that, I yield back.